Hey guys, I'm back with another video. I actually was not going to make a video about this because I just got home from the theater and I really just want to watch my favorite YouTubers. I want to watch their video essays about this movie because this is, I don't even know how to say this, but this is one of the best movies I've ever seen. Like, ever. This is one of the best movies I've ever seen. Period. And it's like, if I was a kid, this would have been the best movie I've ever seen. I'm an adult now, and it's still, like, one of the best movies I've ever seen. I just want to say that this is a good movie. What separates this movie and the recent Marvel movies, right, is in a Marvel movie, they have some big, huge, humongous threat. Oh, the world's gonna freaking end. Oh, no. Oh, freaking Dr. Cumberpatch is trying to find the key to the end of the world, and we have to stop him. The stakes are always so fucking high, right? The stakes are so monumentous, if that's even a word. The stakes are so high. Oh, the world's ending. Oh, and then, like, in the next movie, oh, the world's ending again. And then in the next movie, oh no, look, it's the world ending. It's like, okay, we're tired of that. We get it. The world could end at any moment. I would hate to be alive in the Marvel universe, right? Here's a movie that's a good movie. And guess what? All of that, oh shit, the world's ending, that's all embodied in one character in this movie. The guy with the ugly thumb, whatever the fuck his name was, the guy with the thumb in the magic shop or whatever in this movie, right? All of that, oh shit, the world could end and whatever, that isn't the main problem of this movie. The main antagonist of this movie isn't even the wolf, right? The main antagonist of this movie is Puss coming to terms with his mortality. It's a universal theme. And now this movie, since it's such a small, universal thing that every person alive, every animal alive, everything that's living can relate to this movie. Because we're all afraid of that shadow that is death, right? Part of this movie, I was trying to figure out if the wolf was even really a character. And then that's my gripes with it. At the end of the movie, it's kind of on the nose. Hey, yes, I am a character. When other people could see him and stuff, I was like, okay, well, looks like he is an actual physical wolf character, right? Because what I thought he was just this, like, apparition. I thought he was a metaphor. His character, his entire character, which he is, right? But at the end, they kind of just tell you, oh yeah, by the way, this is a physical character that other characters can see, right? I'm thinking, oh, only characters who are, you know, reaching that encroaching death can see him. Or Puss, since he's so worried about dying, it has manifested physically to where he feels like, oh shit, I only have this one life left. It feels like death is now knocking on my door, right? And then I do think the end kind of like, it kind of sullies it just a little, just a smidge, right? This movie's a 99 out of 100 for me. And that 0.1 is taken away because of the fact that this is a physical character. I thought it worked better for the theme that, hey, this isn't even a real person who's after Puss. This is all psychological. I thought that was that would have been a bit stronger, right? If Kitty Softpaws couldn't see this death creature, right? And it was just a psychological battle for Puss coming to terms with his mortality. But I mean, visually, it's a spectacle, right? To see him battle this death creature, right? But I would have preferred it if it was more of a psychological thing, I guess. I don't know how that would have worked for the final battle, right? Well, I mean, the wall of fire could have completely shrouded everything that was happening, I guess, and then, you know, Kitty could have just been waiting outside this ring of fire like, what the hell's going on? And then Puss comes out after having conquered his fear of his own mortality and after having this psychological battle, right, which we, the audience, are seeing a physical battle, but it could have been left up to interpretation if this was a physical character, this wolf, or if this was just a strictly psychological battle that Puss was having. But at the end, it makes it clear that, hey, this is both a psychological and physical thing. This character, this wolf character, stands in as death, as a physical character, and as a psychological type of character. And I just think this movie was just so freaking strong. And again, I have to pick on Marvel. Marvel always has these huge stakes, right? But in this movie, we're not even really paying attention to the big fat guy, right? Who wanted to control all the magic in the world. We're not even paying that much attention to him because that's not even compelling, right? And Puss in Boots knows this. I wish Marvel would get the point. Oh, the world's ending. It's not compelling anymore. No one cares. No one cares that the world is ending. We care about Puss in Boots. We care about, hey, this is his last life. We care about, oh shit, he's scared of dying. Oh my God, he's realizing his mortality. Oh my God, just when he's coming to appreciate life, he realizes it too late. He's on his last life. And I just think, oh, every character was so brilliant, right? Every character's arc kind of connected to this overall theme that like, you know, like nothing lasts forever and like appreciate what you have now, right? That was the big thesis of this movie, right? Nothing lasts forever and appreciate what you have now, right? Death says this to Puss. I hate the fact that cats have 9 lives. I hate that. And then at the end, he says like, bro, you've never appreciated the other 8 lives, right? And then the dog is like, well, I only have the 1 life. And I love my life because I get to spend it with you guys, my friends. And then the dog is like, hey, why don't you just tell Kitty? I'm sure she would understand where you're coming from if you told her you're about to die, right? And then this fear of like, of inexperience that Puss has is so compelling, right? It's the reason why he's a bit promiscuous, right? In the first movie, he's notorious for having a lot of girlfriends, right? He stood Kitty up at the altar, right? Because he's afraid of committing to something. He's afraid of things he's never really experienced before. He was scared to share his life with someone. He even says for the first time in his life he was scared, right? When it came down to marrying Kitty. And all of these things are just so universal, and that's what makes this movie good. We don't care about the world ending. We don't care. It's overdone. It's not compelling. There will never be a new and original take on the world ending. I'm sorry, it's been done a million times. But guess what? We will always be able to relate to a fear of commitment. We will always be able to relate to a fear of mortality. We will always be able to relate to realizing our mortality. We will always be able to relate to running away from the grips of death, right? That scene in the forest when Puss is running away from death, this wolf character, and he has a panic attack. That was the realest moment in this film for me. That was the realest fucking moment in this entire film for me. It was so real, right? Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sure most people have went down this rabbit hole of existential crisis or existentialism, right? Like wondering, like, how does it feel to die? What happens when you die? Where do you go? You know what I mean? And it kind of gets your heart like started. It kind of gets you going. It's like, oh my God, it's just over. You know, there's no certain answer, right? And this is another thing that Puss fears, like, what happens when it's all over? This is your 9th life. It's over after this one. You're going to die. That's it. And he's never experienced death, right? Like, no coming back from this. He's never experienced that. So that's why he evades it. That's why it scares him so much. And in that first fight, you just saw the fear in his eyes. You saw his life flash before his eyes. Because he knew, this is something I can't overcome. This is something I can't beat. And it isn't until the end when he accepts, hey, I could die. I'm mortal. My life is not a forever infinity type of thing. It has it has finality. It can and will end. And guess what? I accept that. I'm okay with that. And it's through that character, this dog character that's never had anything, right? He never had a family. He never had a home. He never had anything. And it's through that dog character where we kind of see like the theme is played around with. Here's a dog who has pretty much He's never experienced half, not even almost half, not even a little bit of what Puss has experienced. And he just has the best outlook on life, right? And he just goes with the flow and he accepts things as they are and as they come to him. And he's super honest and just straight up with everyone. You know, he just loves living and he loves being alive. And that's something that Puss has been taken for granted. And that theme, taking things for granted, not appreciating what you have right in front of you, that theme is woven into Goldilocks' story, right? Now, she was this orphan, and she found this family, and she still wants a wish, right? I wish for a family, a proper family. Little did she know she had a family the entire time, right? I knew that was going to be her wish when it started, right? I knew that was going to be her wish. I knew it would be her wish. And I knew that at some point she would realize, hey, I've had a family this whole time. Hey, it was right in front of my eyes this whole time. I knew it. And then we get the pinnacle of this theme, right? This fat character, I forgot his name. Like, it was Hubert or something. I don't know. He wants all the magic in the world, right? Jiminy Cricket tells him, hey, I'm your conscience, bro. Like, I tell you, I just sit on your shoulder and judge you, right? That was fucking hilarious. I almost fell out of my seat. It was so funny. He tells the cricket, hey, I've had 2 loving parents. I've had, inherited a business. I've always been rich and woo, 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 woo. But that's nothing. I've always wanted to rule the world. Right? He doesn't appreciate anything that's in front of him. And he doesn't value life. Right? And neither did Puss, right? Now, this big, fat character guy who wanted all the magic in the world, he was an extreme of that, right? He was a parody of that. He was taking everything to 100. Every single theme, he took it to 100. No, I do not value life. No, I do not appreciate what's in front of me, right? Puss was having that same exact problem. He didn't value his own life, right? He was really full of himself, and he was more interested in, like, the legend of living, rather than living life itself, which is why he was so afraid of sharing his life with Kitty Softpaws or whatever. But once he actually felt that fear for his life, once he, realized, hey, I have something to lose. Hey, this is my last shot at life. He realized, hey, I would rather spend my time with someone I know who loves me, right? And we saw that with that montage of him, oh, I fight alone, I travel alone. Between the battles, he's just sitting somber by himself, like in solitude. He came to realize that throughout his travels, right, there are down periods, months probably, of him just being by himself. Like, cold by himself in the forest with the fire, him alone with the horse. It's miserable. It's miserable. And he realized, hey, I would rather spend this time with people who love me. And it's because of that dog, and it's because of death itself. And I think it's brilliant because it's just so realistic. This is what happens in real life, right? You don't realize what you have until you almost lose it or until you lose it, right? It's not until a near-death experience where you're like, holy shit, I have not been living the life I wanted to, right? It's not until you have a scare at the hospital, your lung collapsed or whatever, where you're like, man, I should stop smoking. I'm gonna put this shit down and never pick it up again. It's not until that last moment after you've made mistake after mistake after mistake and it finally all catches up with you where you're like, all right, bro, time to switch this up. I have a new outlook on life. And I just thought it was so brilliant. Like, even a kid watching this movie will just see the characters, right? Oh no, Puss, that thing that got that beast, that animal is going to kill Puss. Oh no, I'm so scared. I'm so sad. I hope Puss doesn't die. Right? And then they'll get to this puppy, this comedic relief character. And I think even a kid can understand, here's this happy puppy, right? This puppy is full of life. This puppy lives life to the fullest and appreciates every little thing. Sure, the sad shit he says is like comedic relief, kinda, which is kind of disturbing. But the sad things the dog says is comedic relief. But through his dialogue, you can just tell that he appreciates every little thing that happens to him. Why? Because he is alive. And he tells Puss, I've only had this one life. And I love this life because I get to spend it with you. Oh, it's just It's just beautiful. I could talk about this movie for hours, I think, but I want to keep this short because I want to watch my favorite YouTubers' video essays about this movie because it was just that good. There's so much video essay material in this movie. There's so much. And like what I would, talk about if I wanted to make a video essay is this Wolf character. I would talk about how he did not need to be a physical character. He represented the psychological attempt to escape from death, the psychological battle with encroaching death, the psychological battle of existentialism. It's really hard to say. The psychological battle of trying to evade death and run away from it. And coming to terms with the fact that, hey, I am mortal. My time on this earth is not guaranteed, it is borrowed, and it is running out. I have to appreciate everything that I have right now in this moment. And I think this movie just did everything well. There was not a character. This movie was not wasted on any character. This movie did not waste any time. This movie did not, it just didn't waste any time. It just got to each point and made its point. And it's such a strong, solid movie. 11 out of 10. So freaking good. I recommend it. If you haven't watched it and I spoiled it for you, I still think you should go watch it because it's that good. And I like how it leaded into Shrek 5 at the end because they're on their way to Far, Far Away. I loved that. So I can't wait to see what happens next. Let me know if you guys watched the movie. Let me know if you didn't watch it. Let me know what you thought about it. Let me know if you would have preferred if the wolf character was actually like a psychological battle and not really revealed to be a physical character. Let me know if you would have liked that. I think I would have liked that better. Let me know what you think about the forest scene when Puss has that fucking panic attack and then the dog lays on his chest and it calms him down. That was so beautiful. I almost started crying in the theater. I almost started crying because I've been there. I've literally been there. And just holding a friend's hand was enough to calm me down. There's this scene in 13 Reasons Why when this male character is about to die and he looks over at the other male character in the hospital with him and he says, "Can you hold my hand, bro? I'm scared," right? And it's just one of my favorite scenes in that entire show because it's so relatable. And no matter how strong we are physically, when it comes to dying, when it comes down to that final breath, no one knows what to expect and everyone is scared. And I think this movie just encapsulated that perfectly because this is Puss in fucking boots, right? He's not scared of anything, and it's because of those 9 lives he had. But once he realized his mortality, oh, that showed him real quick, like, bro, this is it. This is your last chance. And once he conquered that fear, he was able to move on with his life. And that's also the thing about like having an existential crisis, like coming to terms with the fact that, hey, I'm going to die. I'm on this planet on borrowed time just to see things and maybe make an impact or whatever, just to have fun, just to chill on this earth and see all that the universe has created, all that the universe has to offer. I accept that my time is borrowed and every breath you take has to be given back. And I just think this is a beautiful movie for kids and adults to kind of come to terms with their own mortality and live life to the fullest and be grateful for the things that are right in front of them. Even if, like Goldilocks, she preferred a proper family, right? But she had everything she needed. She was loved, she was cared for, she was fed, right? Puss had years and years of adventure, right? And now there's someone who loves him. Well, there's 2 people who love him. The dog loves him too, right? And now it's time for him to share his life, right? Share his last, final life with someone who cares about him. And not live on the edge so much to, meet his fate sooner than would be, right? It's time for him to settle down. It really is. It really is. Anyways, that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.